We remember here today those 5 prisoners. Gerardo Hernandez, he got 2 life sentences plus 15 years. Ramon Lavanino, 30 years. Antonio Guerrero, 21 years and 10 months. Fernando Gonzalez, 17 years and 9 months. And lastly, Rene Gonzalez, 15 years.
I'm Teresita Trujillo, Cuban ambassador to Ireland and campaigner for the freedom of the Cuban Five. We are here today standing by the spire, the symbol of the city of Dublin, in O'Connor Street at a vigil to mark the 15th anniversary of the imprisonment of the Cuban Five. I have to thank all the organizations and people who attended this successful vigil, which is intended at drawing attention to the case of the 5 who have been denied justice for too long, and to send a very strong message to President Obama that it's time for their release. The calls from the international community have been there, very sound and loud, for 15 years. One day longer is too long for justice to be denied. I'm asking also of other people who couldn't be here tonight or who have maybe never heard of the cases that have been silenced in the media to get in touch with the campaign in Ireland and to lend their support in whichever way they can. Thank you.
My name is Kathy Power, and I've been a supporter of Cuba since 1978 when I went there first. Of course, like all decent people, I'm outraged at what has happened to the Cuban Five.
Rhonda Donaghy from the SIP to Cuban Solidarity Group. I'm here today in support of the Cuban Five.
Estamos aquí por casualidad, pasamos y vimos a nuestros compatriotas en esta actividad por la libertad de los 5 y nos unimos a ellos porque hace 15 años que se ha cometido una injusticia tremenda con 5 antiterroristas cubanos y es criminal lo que se ha hecho. Entonces nosotros estamos aquí reclamándole al gobierno de los Estados Unidos y llamando a la atención pública internacional que pida la libertad de los 5. Basta ya de abuso y libertad para los 5 y patria o muerte venceremos.
I'm Sean Edwards from the Communist Party of Ireland, and we have joined in this protest against the continuing injustice directed towards the very brave 5 Cubans who went to America to work not against the United States, not against the government of the United States, but against the bandits of the right-wing Cuban immigration in Miami who are perpetually plotting acts of violence against Cuba, are held in very bad conditions, separated, maltreated, and when one, Rene Gonzalez, actually completed his term in jail, thus they would not let him go straight home, but he was obliged to stay in Miami for a further year or more. And in order, he had to renounce his United States citizenship in order to return home to Cuba. I think he had no great trouble signing that particular document.
Okay, my name is Dan O'Neill and I'm here with the Young Workers Network today, which is a SIP2 initiative.
Okay, Maureen O'Sullivan, Independent TD Dublin Central, and I'm involved carrying on the work that my predecessor, the late Tony Gregory, did, because he was very involved in supporting the Cuban Five. I've been involved here, I've been to Cuba, so I met some of the relatives there, and I had the honour of hosting Magdalene in the Dáil when she came over and she was speaking to us. As I said earlier, it's a cliche, justice delayed is justice denied, and that's what happened in the Cuban Five. It's going on far, far too long, and myself and other independent TDs will continue to support the campaign for their release so they can go back to Cuba.
My name is Brendan Gallagher. I'm here with the Connolly Youth Movement here at the Spire to show solidarity with the Cuban Five. We need to put pressure on parliamentarians and groups all around the world to make. I think a lot of people in America aren't aware of this disgraceful case and what their own government has done to these brave five men who've.
Seamus McDonough is my name. I came travel here, Kel, today to support these the Cuban Five.
Obama ought to be ashamed of himself, because he's doing nothing for world peace. He's causing more trouble, and he poses as a liberal, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Brought the Cuba Five, who've been unjustly locked up in America for fighting against terrorism, and it just shows up the hypocrisy of the United States government.
Jimmy Kelly here from the Unite Trade Union. Our union has been very involved since the start to try and get justice for the Cuban Five. It's an absolute disgrace that these innocent people should be locked up.
See them as very much as heroes of what they tried to do. They tried to prevent attacks on their own countries. I think it's well timed and long past the time when these people should be released. If they were from any other country, they wouldn't have been arrested. They would have been given medals in relation to what they did.
Llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí. De Alto Cero voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarí.